Welcome to eDiscovery Leaders Live, where I get a chance to chat with luminaries in eDiscovery and related areas. This broadcast is sponsored by Reveal Brainspace, the industry's leading AI eDiscovery platform. Don't forget to subscribe to watch me, George Socha, weekly with leaders in eDiscovery. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to eDiscovery Leaders Live, hosted by ACEDS and sponsored by Reveal. I am George Socha. I head up brand awareness at Reveal. On each episode of eDiscovery Leaders Live, I get the chance to chat with luminaries in eDiscovery and related areas. Past episodes are available on the Reveal website. Go to revealdata.com, select resources, then select eDiscovery Leaders Live. This episode is a special one, not just because of a different date and day of the week and different time, but more importantly, because we've timed this to follow up on the heels of last week's activity at Reveal. Our guest for this episode is Reveal's founder and CEO, Wendell Jisa. Wendell, welcome.
Hi, George. Thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
Glad to have you here as always. Well, this is an exciting time. It's been a busy week because a week ago today, Reveal announced the acquisitions of both Logical and iPro. So first of all, Wendell, congratulations. I know that's not an easy thing to accomplish.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I always tell my wife this is the biggest week of my career, and she continues to tell me you say that at least twice a year. But I really feel like last Tuesday was a milestone that we achieved at Reveal that will be difficult to surpass.
So I'd like to start with you giving an overview of what this was. Two acquisitions, obviously, two companies, obviously, but explain a little more.
Yeah, I will. It really was three companies coming together. If you take a look and scale back, the industry itself has a lot of great technology out there. And when we looked at the opportunity to bring both Logical and iPro into the Reveal organization, it created a very powerful resulting product line, but also organization. And I think that we feel as though we're the first company in our industry to actually have two products, Logical and Reveal, that are able to serve two different purposes. And I think that being able to have that self-service product that you can swipe a credit card with in order to load data into within a half hour, but also be able to support and serve the largest matters in the industry with something like Reveal Enterprise is very powerful. I think getting here first was very, very, very significant, and I hope that our combined customers are able to leverage both products to the level that we believe they will.
And it seems to me one of the advantages that brings as well is that pretty much every corporate legal department, every governmental legal department, every law firm that I've worked with over the years that has to deal with eDiscovery has to deal with both of those things. They've got a few, sometimes more than a few, but at least a few large and complex matters. But then the vast majority of their matters are small, comparatively simple, and hard to accommodate with a high-end powerful platform. This addresses both, right?
Yeah, it does. It's kind of funny because during this process, anyone that's been involved with M&A understands that there's not just the diligence process or the negotiation process, but there's also the courtship. And Andy Wilson, the founder of Logical, and I spent some time together where he lives in Bend, Oregon. And we actually we hiked up this mountain together. And as we hiked up this mountain, we talked about the opportunities that this was going to bring to not only our customers, but also the industry at this greater level. And one of the things that we talked about and spitballed around was building this pipeline, eventually building a pipeline where those matters at corporate legal departments would be able to move or graduate from logical into reveal and move that data back and forth. That's not something we have right now, but it's something that Andy and I sort of aspired to get to when we talked about what the benefits could be. I also think that when you think about when you pull in the iPro component and the history they have in this industry, also the toolkit that they have, right? They've got thousands of customers around the world, thousands of customers they've had for many, many years, and to be able to give them the opportunity to leverage both Logical and Reveal Enterprise in addition to what they currently have is also instrumental in what we plan on doing here in the future.
And probably integral to all of that as well is that iPro, through its acquisition of Zylab, has a lineage that now gives Reveal a lineage that I think goes as far back as anybody in the industry, right? Since 1983, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So iPro, as many of you know, acquired Zylabs a couple years ago, and that goes back to '83, and I think iPro goes back to '89. I was actually a client of iPro scanning software at my former company, so it does go back, and you know when you think about, I mentioned this to someone else, but when you think about the industry minds that are all in the same room right now and the experience they have in solving all the problems that we have been faced with, but also facing in the future, it's it's a recipe for success. We I sort of snuck into the R&D meeting last week, and the list of characters that were in that room and the experience was overwhelming for me. It wasn't something that I was expecting when I walked into the room, but the experience, the knowledge, the vision, the impact all these individuals have had as engineers in our space is powerful. And I cannot wait to see not only what they're going to do as we integrate these organizations together, but also ideas that are going to come out of what they're doing.
Yeah, and because as you're saying, with these acquisitions combined with everyone who'd already been at Reveal, it's not just about the platforms, it's about the people as well. And if I started naming names of all the people who've made important contributions to the industry who are at Reveal today, we'd run out of time in this session. We wouldn't get anything else done.
Yeah, but I think that's a testament to the organization itself, that so many of those folks that have been part of mergers and acquisitions along the way are still a part of the organization. And we really take a lot of pride in creating one team and one company and you know one product offering. So we, you know, we'll have Reveal Enterprise, we'll have Trial Director, we'll have Brainspace. This is not a Frankenstein. This is an opportunity to integrate not only the customer base and the organizations, but also the products, right? We have a very clear line of sight of having this self-service and this enterprise level product offering that makes Reveal unique in the corporate legal markets, but also beyond, right? Our LSP and advisory customers are going to have access to the same technologies to be able to serve their customers better as well.
So with these acquisitions, these bring yet more pieces to the table from, you know, my EDRM diagram, if you will. It brings overlapping pieces as well. Let's start with the more pieces. What are some of the newer capabilities that are coming on board, have come on board, or will?
Yeah. So one of the great assets with the iPro acquisition was a product called Live EDA, their information governance software. I mean, those two components right there, they've got tremendous growth. There's tremendous corporate legal department opportunity for both of them, and they were critical to what we were trying to achieve. On the logical side, you know, look, I don't think there's many products like Logical in the market right now that actually are laser focused on that self-service component. I feel like what Andy Wilson did really well at Logical over the past 2 decades was his vision on sticking with what he was doing and the customer base he was serving, and making sure that this is what they did, but also how they did it. And now we're benefiting from that because we're able to go to the market immediately and say, we've got self-service, we've got enterprise, we've got these two products. They do different things, but they serve the same customer. I think that those three products right there, and then our three products that we're adding to our toolkit that we probably never would have gotten to, right? And what we're trying to do, because when you try to do too much as a software company and try and answer all the questions, in our opinion, you inevitably fail. So being able to go out there and identify these products and be able to allow them to be their standalone entities standalone platforms within the organization is critical to our success and the thesis behind the investment.
Now, I have heard some concern voiced that I'll use Logical as an example for this because it's the clearest one. That
Sure.
Now that we Reveal have bought Logical, we just bought it for the customers, and the platforms are going to disappear, and we're going to try to force everybody into Reveal 11.
Yeah, that's just not true. I mean, what we've done is we've identified an opportunity and a gap in the market for an organization to actually fill a need for our customers. I mean, time and time again, we've been told we love Reveal, but it's just too much. We don't need for the answers we're trying to capture, we don't need it. And the irony is, I don't know if it was on that hike up that mountain with Andy Wilson or not, but there was time and time again for him where his customers said, it's just not enough. We need more. The idea of putting them both together to give every answer to every customer, we both felt from a strategic perspective was a recipe for disaster. And that's why taking these two standalone products and allowing them to live independent of one another is so critical.
So we've got the standalone Logical side of things, quick, easy to use, easy to get started, laser focused on a set of objectives. Bringing into the overall mix are the early data assessment, index in place, and similar capabilities from iPro. Coming also from iPro is something at the other end of the EDRM diagram, right?
Yeah, so you're talking about Trial Director, I assume,
Absolutely.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, back to what you talked about was the fact that Trial Director has been around for a very long time. And it is a blue blood technology in our industry that folks have been using for many, many, many years. We are wildly excited about continuing to go out there and serving those customers, but also allowing them to leverage the relationship that they have with our organization to move beyond just Trial Director. Trial Director, we feel, is an opportunity of expansion in different markets, not only in the former Reveal customer base, but also the former Logical customer base. Now that we're all one, there is tremendous growth opportunity, and that product will be a part of our ecosystem for a very long time.
What also is happening now is that, and I'll use Legal Hold as an example. We've got currently at least 3 different approaches to Legal Hold within the combined platforms.
Yeah.
We had some of the same challenges when we looked at the Reveal review platform, what NextLP brought, and what BrainSpace brought. How are we going to handle those types of challenges / opportunities moving forward?
Yeah, it's really funny because we will not need 3 Legal Hold tools. But the irony behind all of this is a couple of years ago, George, you probably remember, we were searching for a Legal Hold technology, and we couldn't find one that we wanted to acquire. And now we have 3 great ones. This is an example where, as an organization, you're going to take the best features of each one, and you're going to create a more powerful single solution that many folks will want to use. It's not dissimilar from what we do with BrainSpace and XLP. People thought that was a crazy approach towards things, but when you look at the benefits that BrainSpace has achieved from taking some of the features and functionalities and resources out of NextLP and placing it into that standalone product, it's powerful. And then when you go in the reverse and you look at what Reveal AI, which is baked into the Reveal Enterprise platform, and the features that we were able to extract out of both products and put into that, it's put us in pole position from an AI perspective in our industry.
These two acquisitions now bring up the acquisition count to 8, 9, 10. Where are we at?
Yeah, I think we've done 8 in the past 51 months. And again, I said this before to someone else, but I think what's really unique about what we've done is we do things in tandem, and there's a lot of benefits by doing that, especially when you're trying to be more pragmatic and trying to identify specific features that you want within your platform. Because when you're looking at let's say a smaller organization that's got a lot of cost built into it, but not a lot of revenue, it's difficult to do those acquisitions as standalone and give the founders the valuation that they deserve. If you're also missing, there's also gaps. So while you're filling one gap for yourself, you're still leaving gaps open. So when you can go out there and you can identify deals to do in tandem, it does make the end result much more efficient and powerful from a product perspective. It also allows us to integrate those features into our platform more quickly because we have more resources available to be able to do that with those smaller organizations. In this instance, we're both organizations are larger organizations. Something that I would be remiss not to say is that there were difficult decisions that had to be made within combining these organizations and doing these two in tandem. There was a lot of overlapping resources because of the scale that we were achieving in doing this. And I'd say that for me, on a personal level, that's been the most difficult challenge that we've had to face the past 3 or 4 months as we're going through the process of the folks that were going to be impacted on not just a professional level, but on a personal level. With that said, we were very fortunate to keep those that component of things as minimal as possible and be able to control it. But even if it's one person, right? If it's 1, 10, 20, 30, it's still difficult.
What's been available to help out those folks who weren't able to come along?
Yeah, I'm really proud to be affiliated with K1 Investment Management. Number one, they reached out to us during the process leading into it all and said, hey, look, how can we help some of these individuals, right? How can we help place them? I think there's over 35 portfolio companies that K1's invested in, all B2B SaaS software companies. And the fact that they're sort of opening up the opportunities within those organizations for some of these folks that have been misplaced, I think that's really powerful. I think it's a testament to having an investor like that, because in my experience or in the conversations I've had, that's not always the case. So I feel like our cultures are aligned with K1 and Reveal, formerly Logical, formerly iPro, of trying to make sure that those folks have a safe place to land. The fact of the matter is that the community in general has also expressed an interest to help. But again, I have to say, while there has been a good number of folks who where there was overlap, we contained it to a level that was not too significant if you look at the overarching numbers.
Yeah, it was as folks listening wouldn't know, but as you and I well know, there were quite a few folks in Chicago last week from these now 3 assembled companies, including several dinners. The dinner on Tuesday night, I thought, had a very touching moment where folks who had come over with different acquisitions got up to talk about their experiences, their feelings about it. And I thought it came across with a very strong, we are Reveal, we are one family message.
Yeah. Yeah, George, that was actually one of the proudest moments of the week because it also happened organically. All of those individuals stood up on their own. It's funny because someone leaned over to me and said, "Hey, are you going to give a toast?" And I was waiting to give my toast until later in the week when
Mhm.
everyone, not just those that were in Chicago, were going to be there. We also had a dinner planned for the following night, so I wanted to wait. Um, but it was funny because I think we had five, maybe six individuals actually stand up and talk about their journey in the process of coming and being adopted by the Reveal family into things. And I really feel like for us as an organization, that was a testament of who we are and who we want to be. Where these people that are acquired or merged in actually become part of one unit. What's really exciting for the coming weeks, which will also be exhausting, is we've got the different departments coming in from around the organization. So next week, I think we have sales and marketing coming in, where everyone's going to come together, not just to strategize and discuss go to market, but also just to work shoulder to shoulder next to each other and build camaraderie. Like that's something that's really important when you are spread out around the globe the way that we are. It's important to bring folks together and create that camaraderie internally, not just external. The external communications are very important, but the internal communications are as important. So I think we've got sales and marketing next week, then we'll have engineering, I think, the following week, and then customer success and finance the week after that, where it will just be a constant flow of new Reveal team members coming through Chicago, getting to know each other. And that's a process, right? Like it's a process of mourning those that we've lost, but it's also a process of identifying the opportunities. One of the things that I'm really striving to accomplish over the next 5 or 10 years is to have Reveal create itself as an opportunity for folks to have careers, right? People to come and spend 10, 20, 30, 40 years here and build their careers and support their families. Or it's something that I never thought that would ever be on my bucket list of accomplishments I wanted to achieve as a CEO. But it's certainly become, top two or three for me on a go forward basis. It's not just about solving our customers' problems. Of course, we have to do that in order to grow. But I think creating career opportunities for our employees is something that at our scale right now is very powerful. And to be able to have sort of the keys to the equipment to be able to do that for me, I'm cherishing the moment, and I'm trying to make sure that I also approach it with a very pragmatic and fair delivery.
Building careers and having an environment where we can support our families and do so well, those are two themes that you've been coming to over and over my 3 years as of last week at Reveal. Obviously, those are very important themes to you.
Yeah, they are because I would say we use the word Reveal family a lot, and I think that we do that because we really look. Are we dysfunctional at times? Of course, we all are, right? So is my at home family. But when we're at work and we're being removed from our families and our home life in order to work together, it's important to to provide the right support for the individuals that are here. Because I will tell you that I've been blessed and afforded great opportunity and flexibility in my life because of all the folks at Reveal, right? Whether they've been here for a decade or 2 or 3 years, like they've lifted me up. And I almost feel like it's like my responsibility as our leader, um, to return the favor and to figure out a way to give back to folks that are here that are continuing to. And that's why we always say, like, stand shoulder to shoulder, work together. When one department's down, help lift it up. I mean, in every software company, you're going to have product issues. Rather than having sales point fingers at product, lift product up, right? And when sales is having challenges, let's have customer success pick up sales, right? That's what I'm most proud of right now. That's the way we operate, and I'm really excited about the new team members that are coming in to actually be a part of that. I think it's really important for them to come to Chicago, breathe the same air, work alongside, share ideas, but also just get to know each other, so that when we do interact with each other, we all know that we're moving in the same direction.
With these additions, Reveal has expanded its geographical scope considerably. I think when I joined, we had people primarily in the US and then secondarily in Ireland, and that was about it, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think one of the statistics that we have is that we've got 4,000 customers around the world, and employees in more than 24 countries, which is actually pretty interesting, because yesterday was Labor Day, and I woke up and I was like, I wanted to do something. And I thought, oh, I was like, well, we've got employees all around the world, so I'm going to send my welcome to Reveal today, right? And so I woke up and I just kind of sent out a note to everyone, just saying we're excited to have you part of the team. And when you think about that, you've got to think you also get more emails, right? I'm sure you're getting your inbox they're coming in all 24/7 now. These emails are coming, and I think it's all really exciting. I mean, part of my job now is not just about meeting people to come to Chicago. One of the things I said in my message yesterday was part of my responsibility is to get to Europe, right? To get to the Middle East, to get to Asia, and go and interact with folks there too, to make sure we're all pushing in the same direction. I'll tell you a really interesting thing I've been thinking about at home, because I really feel like these acquisitions are transformative to the space. I think this is a exciting opportunity for Reveal, for our customers, for our competitors' customers, to really have more invested in this industry and this space to help move technology forward. But I've always said, like, we're this company that's been pushing this monster boulder up this mountain, and now all of a sudden, look, the challenge doesn't that when you get to the top of the mountain, that's not when the challenge stops. That's actually when it begins, because then you've got to flip yourself to the other side, and you've got to hold that boulder from falling downhill out of control. I mean, I think that that's our new responsibility, is now that we've reached these heights that we've reached, we need to get on the other side of the boulder and make sure that we're slowly rolling it down the hill, and make sure that we're actually executing upon what we need to execute to make sure that these acquisitions are successful.
Well, nothing like a challenge, right?
Yeah. I think challenges are what make great professionals. I think challenges are what make great companies. And I think the challenges from our customers, and the challenge that we've had I've talked to, I don't know, maybe 40 customers over the past week, just with 30-minute conversations with them, and they're all asking why, they're asking how, and everyone's asking different questions. They're introducing new challenges. So I think all of these challenges, right, that are coming internally and externally, are important for us to identify, but we also have to identify which ones do we need to take on first, right? Which ones introduce the most risk, and how do we mitigate that risk to make sure that the impact of these acquisitions actually delivers the results and the solutions that we need them to for our customers.
So that it's sort of in investing terms, we're looking for the things we can do that give the highest return and value to our users, while at the same time trying to keep our beta low, keep the risk of the downside, things are going wrong, low.
Yeah, and it's a challenge. I mean, look, when you bring, there's the benefits are you bring a lot of great minds together. We're doing transformative acquisitions like this. The risks are you're introducing a lot of unknowns, right? But I do feel like the teams, the cultures of the organizations, the individuals matter. And I think spending time with Andy Wilson and with Dean Brown and Sari Schubert, and getting to know those individuals and talk through how to do things was really important. And without doing that, I don't think that we would have been in the position we are to absorb all these wonderful opportunities that have been introduced.
Well, I would like to close where I began and congratulate you once more on this transformative set of acquisitions.
Yeah,
It's going
thanks,
to be-
George. Well, it wouldn't happen without people like you being a part of the team. So
No.
I owe you a thank you as well.
Oh, it's been a great ride, and it's going to be an even better ride.
Just beginning.
That's right. Always just beginning. So, Wendell, thank you very much for joining us this week. Wendell Jisa is the founder and CEO of the now much bigger Reveal. Wendell, thanks a lot.
Thanks, George.